Either being a mother or having a mother, I'll bet you experienced the look. I hear a lot of giggles. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Every now and then when you did something wrong, mother would cut you that look. And you knew instantly that you did something wrong and you were going to suffer the consequences, or probably already are. There was another look. I want to read it to you. Luke chapter 22, beginning at verse 54. Then seizing Jesus, they led him away and took him into the house of the high priest. Peter followed at a distance, and when some there had kindled a fire in the middle of the courtyard and had sat down together, Peter sat down with them. A servant girl saw him seated there in the firelight. She looked closely at him and said, "This man was with him." But he denied it. "Woman, I don't know him," he said. A little later, someone else saw him and said, "You also are one of them." "Man, I am not," Peter replied. About an hour later, another asserted, "Certainly, this fellow was with him, for he's a Galilean." Peter replied, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." Just as he was speaking, the rooster crowed. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. Peter got the look. Every time I do something that I know I'm not supposed to do, I imagine getting that look from Jesus. It has a tendency to recenter me just like it did Peter here. Peter immediately upon hearing the crow and seeing Jesus look him dead in the face was immediately repentant. Goes on to say that he went outside and wept bitterly. I want you to think about that look from now on. When you do something that you know wasn't quite right, I want you to imagine getting that look from Jesus and seeing if that doesn't center you back. I wonder what Jesus meant by that look. Did Jesus look at Peter and say, "I told you so"? Or did Jesus look at Peter and said, "I love you"? Or did Jesus look at Peter with that look and say, "Watch what I'm fixing to do for you"? As we gather around this table, we're going to take this bread and drink this cup and remember what Jesus did for you. Now, what can you do for him? Pay attention. Watch for that look so that you know when you've messed up, Jesus has already fixed it. Let's take your bread and let's go to the Lord in prayer.